In the last two videos, we unraveled the quiet storm inside the introvert and the hidden exhaustion of the extrovert. But today, we need to talk about the invisible wall between them and the shocking reason why these two worlds clash, yet can't seem to stay apart. There's a strange thing about human beings that we rarely admit. We like to think we're the drivers of our own lives. But most of the time, we're just reacting to the world around us. Picture two different people, Cole and ROXY. Cole is sitting in a dark room, the cold blue light of his phone screen reflecting on his distant, chilly face. Pop culture loves to tell us that introverts are masters of texting. But that's a lie. The internet confuses the ability to text with the curse of over-editing. For Cole, texting isn't a shortcut. It's a digital minefield. He types out a text, deletes it, types it again, deletes it again. He reads a 3-word reply from someone and spends an hour analyzing the punctuation, terrified of what's hidden between the lines. It's not that he doesn't know what to say. It's that his mind is trapped in a loop, overthinking every single way his words could be misinterpreted. Somewhere else, ROXY is right in the middle of a crowded room. She fires off texts like a machine gun. For her, messages are placeholders for real-time validation. If the screen stays dark for too long, her brain panics, interpreting the delay as rejection. She floods the chat with short, rapid-fire messages to keep the connection alive, completely unaware that her typing bubbles are suffocating the person on the other end. She's laughing, talking fast, her vibrant, high-energy presence completely dominating the conversation. But the second she steps into the bathroom alone and the door shut, everything goes dead silent. The smile drops, the energy evaporates, and she's left with this heavy, hollow emptiness that she can't quite put a name on. Which brings us to the real question. Are Cole and ROXY actually two completely different personality types? Or are they just using two different blueprints? To survive, we like to box people into neat little categories: introvert and extrovert. But these labels, as clean as they sound, are a massive oversimplification. They're lazy because the truth is, nobody is quiet all the time, and nobody is a neon light 24/7. The person you call an introvert, they aren't peaceful. They're usually just drowning in the noise of their own thoughts. And the person you call an extrovert, they aren't always confident. Sometimes, they keep talking simply because they can't stomach the sound of their own silence. It's not even about personality. It's about how our brains are wired to handle the world. Some of us are hypersensitive to the chaos outside, so we close the blinds. Others need that chaos just to feel alive. It's not a character trait. It's a biological thermostat, constantly adjusting to find a safe zone. The problem is, we don't live in a neutral world. We live in a society that constantly grades us. Asking for attention or talking more is branded as confidence. Staying quiet is misread as weakness. Putting yourself out there is celebrated as success. And over time, we stop listening to our natural instincts and start morphing into whatever gets us accepted. Here's a hard pill to swallow. The world doesn't reward you for being authentic. It rewards you for putting on a good show. And that's when the real damage happens. We stop living and start editing ourselves to fit into someone else's frame. Nobody is raw and unfiltered all the time. Some people force themselves to become talkative because they realized that staying quiet meant becoming invisible. And others learn to lock their mouths shut because the last time they opened up, it cost them too much pain. But the most dangerous part isn't that we change. It's that we forget what it felt like before we started masking. A lot of extroverts aren't secure. They're just terrified of being left behind. And a lot of introverts aren't serene. They're just too exhausted to try anymore. Until eventually, The act becomes so hardwired that you can't even remember who the real you actually is. And because we are so busy trapped inside our own survival responses, we completely misread each other. Cole looks at Roxy and sees someone who has it completely easy. He thinks she's bulletproof, always happy, and incapable of feeling deep pain. He envies her light, assuming her life is one endless party. Roxy looks at Cole and mistakes his silence for arrogance. She thinks he's judging her, looking down on her noise, or that he simply dislikes her. She assumes his quietness means he is peaceful and secure in his own skin. They look at each other from across the room, feeling worlds apart, but they are completely blind to the reality. Cole doesn't know that Roxy is running on fumes, desperately keeping the room laughing so she doesn't have to face her own shadow. And Roxy doesn't know that Cole's silence isn't a judgment. It's just a shield protecting a heart that is too tired to break again. In the beginning, these two types clash. The noise triggers the introvert, and the silence panics the extrovert. But the truth is, they are the perfect mirror. They are attracted to each other because they both possess the exact trait the other is missing. They don't need to change each other. They just need to realize that they aren't two different species. They are just two kids, trapped in the same burning house, running toward two different exits. There is a specific moment that both Cole and Roxy share, even though they've never met. It's the moment they are completely alone, no audience to react to, no character to maintain, no energy left to fake it. Cole lies on his bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. He's not sad, but his brain won't turn off. Every interaction from the day, every glance, every syllable, it all plays back on a loop. Analyzing his flaws, Roxy sits in the quiet of her room. No music, no notifications, no voices. And for the first time all day, she doesn't have to perform. She's just there. And right in that stillness, the exact same question hits them both. It's unvoiced, but heavy. Am I actually enough when I'm not trying to be someone? Maybe what panics us the most isn't who we are. It's that we have no idea who we are once the act is over. Because if you strip away the labels, if you take away introvert and extrovert, what is actually left in the room? The answer is simpler than you think. It's not about your identity. It's about psychological safety. When you feel safe, you open up. When you feel threatened, you shut down. It's that simple. And when you look at it through that lens, the weight just drops. You don't have to force yourself into a box anymore. You don't need to speak more to have value, and you don't need to stay quiet to look deep. You are just responding to the world based on the survival strategies you learned as a kid. Maybe what we call personality is really just the specific set of scars we carry and the armor we built so we wouldn't get hurt again. But what if you don't fit into either box? What if you are forced to navigate between both worlds? There is a group of people who are caught in a constant tug of war. When they are out, they count the minutes until they can go home. But when they are finally home alone, a strange anxiety creeps in, whispering that they are missing out. And then, there is the most exhausted group of all, the masked extroverts. These are natural introverts who force themselves to learn the script of the extrovert. You became the funny one, the loud one, the networker, not because it felt natural, but because you realized that in a world that rewards noise, your survival depended on it. You pay for every hour of social performance, with days of absolute mental bankruptcy. So, what is the way out? What is the blueprint for healing for all of us? To the Coles of the world, the introverts, your homework is to realize that boundaries are not walls. It is okay to protect your peace, but do not let your protection turn into a prison. The world is messy, but it is also where connection lives. Speak up, not to please the crowd, but to let the right people find you. To the ROXYs of the world, the extroverts, your homework is to learn the art of the detox. Silence is not a vacuum waiting to swallow you whole. It is a mirror waiting to show you who you are. Stop performing. The people who truly love you don't need the entertainer. They just need you. And to the masked and the conflicted, stop apologizing for changing your mind. You are allowed to be the life of the party on Friday and completely unreachable on Saturday. Your energy is a pendulum, not a prison cell. Real maturity isn't about picking a personality type and sticking to it. It's about knowing when to put the armor on and having the courage to take it off when you are safe. You are not broken. You are not wrong. You've just been doing the best you can to get through this. And if there's only one thing you take away from this story, let it be this. You do not need to become a different version of yourself to deserve your spot in this world. So, look into the mirror right now and ask yourself, who do you actually see when the lights go out? Are you a coal, cold, detached, and retreating into the dark? Or are you a ROXY, vibrant, high energy, but burning yourself out to keep the room alive? Or maybe you are a coal on the inside, forced to wear the exhausting, loud mask of a ROXY, screaming for silence while putting on a perfect show. But what if you are none of those? What if you are Maya, the hidden ideal we all search for? A person who is calm, gentle, and perfectly balanced. Someone who knows how to step into the light without losing their peace, and how to embrace the quiet without feeling lonely. If any of these names felt like your reflection, leave a comment with the word present. Not for the algorithm, but to let the world know you are here, and you are done apologizing for how you survive. But identifying who you are is only step one, because whether you are hiding like coal, performing like ROXY, or holding the center like Maya, you are still the absolute best version of yourself in this very moment. And with the next steps of our journey, we are going to explore the art of unspoken chemistry and how to truly understand the people around you on a whole new level. See you there.